Hey guys, so I'm responding to the prompt of picking a PE standard and talking about what I like about it and what I dislike. The standard I'm looking at is part of the 11th and 12th grade standards, which at that point PE is an elective. The standard I am looking at is 11/12.1.A, and it reads demonstrate mastery in all basic skills and movement patterns required for the selected activity and the ability to use the skills with consistency in the appropriate setting. Now, this section of the standards, the grade 11, grade 12 standards, they are giving much more leeway to almost any kind of activity. They're just focusing on the mastery of movement skills and patterns of a lifetime physical activity. Life in grades 11 and 12, you might touch on physical activities that you wouldn't be doing at younger levels or lower levels of PE in younger grades. Some things, some activities that the introduction to the standard touched on are outdoor pursuits, Pilates, self-defense, skating, weight training, cycling, aquatics, and a couple others. So this is an emphasis on, hey, you're about to get out to the world a little bit more. Let's introduce you and have you get used to and be able to perform other lifelong activities that might not be your typical baseball, basketball, softball, soccer, that kind of thing. So one thing I really like about this particular standard, and honestly all of the grade 11 and 12 standards, is the choice you can make. And look at the different kind of activities that people in their low 20s, that people in the mid 30s that are elderly. There are so many different activities that they could be doing, and this is something you can be learning in high school. So this standard is just like, hey, do what you want, but the point is to be introduced to it, to be a master of it, and take it beyond a physical education setting, and hopefully make it a part of your habitual life. So one thing I would love to see, or love to be able to do, is do something like kickboxing to fulfill this standard. I know kickboxing in high schools or schools in general will be logistically difficult, because those heavy bags are incredibly expensive, and obviously it's hard to, have one for 40 kids, and hard to have a place to do it. But I think something like kickboxing would really fulfill this, this standard. Again, I really like the standard because it emphasizes the lifelong part. What I'm not the biggest fan of is how it kind of expects you to be a master, like at a mastery level of different activities that it's offering and suggesting at the introduction at the top of the page that I'm reading. It kind of requires a master, even though it's like, hey, these are newer activities that are lifelong activities, but we expect you to be a master of it. I guess over the course of the unit, you can be a master of it. I just don't know. It just kind of sounds like it's like, oh, you can go from zero to hero. I don't know. Anyway, so I really like this standard. And it just really encourages you to kind of think outside of the box of what you might typically know and typically know as activities and sports and physical activities, and it's encouraging you guys to step outside the activities that because again, not everyone's going to be playing soccer until they're 60. Shoot, I won't even be able to play softball up until 30. I'm 28 years old. I've had surgeries. I can't play anymore. So I got to do something else. So this particular standard could have really applied to me had I known, down the road. I'd have 3 surgeries. Anyway, so it's a standard like this that could actually really prepare you for anything health related that life could throw at you down the road. So if, say for example, if I was back in high school and I'm learning things like kickboxing, ultimate frisbee, things like that in high school, and I have an injury that prevents me playing my main sport, well, guess what? I've not been exposed to this in school. Again, not a ton of negatives with this, just minus the one comment about the standard being to demonstrate mastery, which, again, kind of difficult to me. It's like, here's a new activity for the purpose of learning, of keeping it in your back pocket to be a lifelong activity and become a master. Anyway, that's my only complaint. Otherwise, fantastic standard, fantastic set of standards. I wish there was more like it at the younger levels. And there goes 11th and 12th grade standards. The end.